Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Whited Outdoors. So this time of year, my wife gets excited about pumpkin spice and all those other things that wives get excited about. Me, on the other hand, I'm taking every opportunity I get to be 20 feet closer to God. Opening day of archery season has came and gone, and because of a foolish mistake on my part, I got to enjoy some tag soup. That's been sitting heavy with me ever since, and my rangefinder's been sitting really close to my heart. One thing I've learned growing up in the outdoors is experience is the best teacher. It's September 24th, and today's hunt is very special to me because it's with one of my former students. You teach them, you have them in the classroom with you, and you see them as a student. It's not very often you have a kid that leaves your classroom that says, hey, come hunting with me. So I thought, what the heck, might as well. Chapman was one of the captains of our bass fishing team at the school that I work at, and I figured I'm going to take this opportunity, get to hang out with Chapman a little bit. But before we hit the woods for the hunt, today's episode is brought to you by the awesome guys over at Happy Herd Nutritions.
I'm Tori Pegg with my 2019 archery state record buck from North Carolina, and I trusted in Happy Herd Nutrition to put them where I want.
Get yours today at www.happy-herd.com.
Well, we're down here at Chapman's farm. This is a day that's been a long time coming. Kind of stinks when you find a kid that's a pretty cool kid, but as a teacher you're like, I'm not going hunting with you yet. Now, this good old dude's graduated, so guess who's out hunting with me? What's up? How are you?
That's what I'm talking about. It's okay if he shoots a deer, it'll be worth it. So normally we're in the same tree, but
So you remember before how I said experience is the best teacher? Well, Joe and I set up, seeing the property, seeing the way that the wind's blowing in, seeing where the deer trails are running through the woods, and I'll be daggone if we didn't set up for the wind going one way, wind straight switched on us. So the area that we were sitting in, absolutely perfect if we would have had an east wind. So later in the evening, when the deer finally come in, close to last light, we all of a sudden start hearing some real nice blowing off in the back behind us, where I never thought they would come from, just because there's a road very close to that way. What can I say? They caught us. So after we got done with the hunt with Chapman, it was time for us to head, me and my wife, up to Virginia to do some hunting with Big Mike on some of his land. Recently turned him on to some Happy Herd Kodal, and it was incredible at how it went from his property being scarce of deer to having herds of does roll through, and actually one really nice 5-year-old buck.
Right before they got up in the stands where they were going to go, they've got ladder stands set up. They bumped some young deer, so I'm hoping that they didn't go and tell their buddies. But the cold front came through, this past weekend. So right now it is, I don't know, ballpark 40-some degrees. You can see your breath in the air. That's how you know it's good and cool. I'm hoping that the deer get to moving here soon. And if they don't, we'll be back out here this evening. But I figured they would at least be moving, because it's cold out. But I do know the full moon setup might have slowed things down a little bit. But you never know. It's the beauty of bow hunting. You sit here on edge the whole time just waiting for something to happen. It's pretty cool. There's an access road right over here. But if you look, let me turn the camera for you. You can see there is a trail that goes right straight down through there. And then the other trail area we're looking at goes, it is right there, going on over that way. Moving on over that way. Where I'm sitting at right here, there's a road right over here to my right. So not 100% like Seek 1 style here, but where we're at, there's a lot of woods, but there's a subdivision over there. So it's pretty neat that the deer keep moving and they're in this close. Mike's got a couple studs on camera. I'm really hoping that one of them makes an appearance. So Big Mike and Michael have had a couple deer come in. One just a second ago. Acorns are dropping like missiles out here. Just a few minutes ago, I heard a nice little blow. So I think they got busted. They had the Cool Crab Claw 6 come in and it blew them out. So I'm hoping it'll send something over here to where I'm at. We're probably about, 200 yards apart. So keep your fingers crossed for me. Well, that does it for the morning sit. Gonna head in, grab some breakfast, regroup, and hopefully the deer don't move right at noon, and hopefully they're ready to rock and roll come about 4 o'clock. I'm gonna try to get back out here in the stand. Hang in there with me. Alright, so I'm back in the tree for the evening sit. Had some deer come through out here at about 3:30 today. I was with my wonderful wife in a pumpkin patch. So, go fall. But now, hoping to see some action, at least some does or something coming through. There's one big shooter buck out here. He's got to be going on 5. I had an encounter with him last year. I'm hoping he makes an appearance, but at this point, if a doe shows up, she's gone, baby. Out in the woods again up at Big Mike's. Yesterday they had 7 deer come in on them in this spot right here. None of them seemed to spook off, and actually one might be coming in right now. Last day of hunting here in Virginia. Me and Mike have a pack today. If any buck comes out, he's gonna take it. If any does come out, I'm gonna smoke it. It's been a lot of fun getting to come up here and hunt with the father-in-law. It's always fun to get to come hang out with family. We've been up here. We're actually sitting really close to each other today. All the deer action's been funneled over here. His neighbors love doing yard work in the afternoon. It's kind of cool. The way that Mike's land lines up is there's a subdivision to the back of it. So hopefully the people movement doesn't do anything to spook the deer. But fingers crossed, we're gonna get the job done tonight. We, for the past hour and a half, have listened to the yard get aerated and leaf blowers going. The crappy thing is the deer come from the back side of that around this way. So basically the deer have been held on pause. So now it's about 6:15. We have about 45 minutes left of light. We'll see what happens. Well, this about does it for the trip to Virginia. Didn't leave with any deer meat, but had a lot of fun. It's always nice, like I said, to get to hang out with family and hunt. A few more minutes of legal light left, so you never know what can happen. But if nothing comes in, at least I had fun.
It's always a blast to get to be in the deer woods, to get to see nature as it's happening, but it's also really cool that when you get done with the hunt, you get to go in and hang out with the family. Big Mike was so awesome for having us up there to hang out at his house for this long weekend. I enjoy every time we can get together and get out in the woods. If you don't already, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell so you're up on all the notifications whenever new videos get posted. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as we do a podcast here called The Lodge from Whited Outdoors. You can find it on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify. Thank you guys once again so much for tuning in. Tight lines and double lungs. Have a good one.